Hello everyone, my name is XFreds, and welcome to my review of Sonic Unleashed. Yeah, I've been taking a break from the review videos for a little bit, but I'm back with the review videos, and I honestly, I'm glad to be back. Now, I would like to address a few things. One, this is solely my opinion. If you don't agree with my opinion, then that is perfectly okay. 2. This footage is not mine and belongs to FC Playthroughs, which I'll leave their link in the description since I use their footage a lot. And finally, this video is entirely unscripted. So forgive me if I stutter. Anyways, Sonic Unleashed was meant to please fans after the epic fails of Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06. I might get to these games in the future, but I don't know. Anyways, this is the second time I had to record it because of storage space reasons. But yeah, let's get into the story. And oh boy, is it gonna make this video long. We start in the opening cutscene where Sonic tries to once again fool Eggman's plans. Now, he was nearly caught. But Sonic had a little something on his sleeves. Supersonic, baby! Anyways, after Eggman being chased by Supersonic, he shows empathy, and Sonic gets fooled, but little did he know, it was a trap. Eggman sucks him in his machine to suck all of the Chaos Emeralds away from him, to make what he wanted to do since the Sonic Adventure days, that being Eggman Land. He releases a creature named Dark Gaia, and it honestly, oh boy, this is where things start to get worse for the heroes. Well, it's the start of the game, so what do I know? After all of that, Sonic turns into this werewolf creature known as the Werehog. Well, that's what the game calls it, at least. And now the Chaos Emeralds are powerless, and Eggman sends Sonic out into space, and then that's where our adventure begins. Sonic lands on Earth and meets this weirdo. He names him Chip because he doesn't remember his name or even who he is. The only thing that he remembers is a thing falling onto him. And that's that. Sonic and Chip makes their way to the town in order for their adventure, or their own way of getting their friend of making lives better for themselves. AKA trying to get Chip's memory back and Sonic's regular self back. And what I mean by that is just trying to get this Werehog out of him. Tails gets attacked by these Dark Gaia monsters, and he screams for help. He couldn't take the monsters' strength enough, so he needed Sonic's help. Now Sonic heard Tails scream, so he needed to get there as fast as possible. In his new Werehog, he was given to make his way through. That's where Sonic and Tails finally meet up to each other for the first time as Sonic as the Werehog. He said that there was a way that about a professor named Professor Pickle, that would help get Chip's memory back and make Sonic turn back to his normal self again. And then we move on to a tornado sequence to get to the town. But then we realized Professor Pickle has been captured by Eggman himself. What a bastard. He fights his way through the savannah at night. And then they meet Professor Pickle for the first time. Very weird name, right? Now apparently, Tails has met the professor before. But he has, however, not met Sonic yet. Until now, that is. Tails frees Professor Pickle through his cage and asks him for help about Chip and Sonic. He tells us that there was a temple that can possibly bring anything back to life, including the Chaos Emeralds. Okay, I'll say that again. It won't bring anything back to life, but it'll bring the power of bringing the Chaos Emeralds back to life. It's still unknown if it's able to bring anything to life other than the Chaos Emeralds, but we don't know, nor does anybody care. Sonic runs through the savannah in the daytime, with Eggman attacking the village. But then Sonic makes his way to stop him, running through the savannah, and takes his first boss down. Then Chip and Sonic made their way to the first temple, and the entire second third of the story is literally just Sonic and Tails trying to get it, just with Sonic, Chip, and Tails trying to get it to the other temples. Yeah, there is a part where Sonic and Amy he meets up, though as Sonic as the Werehog, and then where they save them, which is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that funny scene, the entire second third of the story is literally just the Sonic getting to the other 6 temples to restore all the Chaos Emeralds. Which, I'm gonna say this now, this is probably my least favorite part of the story. The entire second third is literally just getting to the temples. But since this was done in Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors, I won't count it too much against the story, since it happens in many other times throughout the Boost universe, which does try to make it unique, but a problem that I will count against the entire Boost game, the entire Boost trilogy. Yeah. The games are still great, though. After many, many levels later, this is where Sonic and Chip make it to the 6th temple. This is where the second third of the story ends. But for one good reason. Because of Chip regaining his memory. This scene in the story is honestly great, and it shows what Chip truly is. The opposite of Dark Gaia, that being the Light Gaia. We enter another tornado sequence where we get into the Eggman land that Eggman built. After we made it and successfully got through the Eggman land, Eggman comes out of freaking nowhere, and surprises us with an Egg Dragoon. And despite how very creative this boss is, Sonic up to this day still takes it down. Seriously, Eggman, do you not realize that that Sonic has dealt with things like Perfect Chaos, the Final Hazard, stuff like that. This boss is still great, though. And this is where Dark Gaia finally shows himself. Now this is where Chip gets his moment to finally shine. He takes all the temples and transforms to the Gaia Colossus. Perfect Chip moment. After all of that, Chip and Sonic take down Dark Gaia together, with Chip boosting and playing Punch Out. Sonic taking these sweet sequences with a very hard time limit and gets the Dark Gaia. After that sequence being repeated 3 times, Sonic and the gang Sonic and Chip thinks that they won, but little did they know, Dark Gaia had something in their little did they know that Dark Gaia had something around his sleeves. That's not how the saying goes. Anyways, Sonic turns into Super and takes down the perfect Dark Gaia. After perfect Dark Gaia gets defeated, everything goes back to normal, and Sonic keeps this medallion that we unfortunately don't see in future games. Why? I don't know, because this was a magical moment for the Sonic series. I don't know why they didn't make a reference to this medallion in any of the other games. Not that I can remember, at least. However, despite that and the overall pausing of the story at the second third of it, the story is awesome, and I honestly think that this is my favorite Sonic story in the entire series. Yes, I said it right there. I know Sonic Adventure 2, I know Sonic Adventure 1, but I gotta be honest with myself. This game had a lot more detail put into it, and I still love the Sonic Adventure story, without a doubt, but I will admit, there are some plot holes and inconsistencies that this story, he barely has. And yet there's still a decent amount of plot holes and inconsistencies for Charlie making everything wrong with video. Though to be fair, there's still not that many to look at and not many things wrong. Not many plot holes, but yeah. All in all, Sonic Unleashed's story is amazing. Best story in the franchise, and you will not convince me otherwise. And poor Chip. Now let's get on to the gameplay. There are 3 gameplay styles. Those where you play as Sonic from beginning to end. And here we have regular Sonic stages, Werehog Sonic stages, and Tornado Defense stages. Now are all of these sequences good in their own ways? Absolutely. Let's start with Sonic's gameplay. Sonic's gameplay introduces something new for the franchise, that being the Boost to Win formula. Now yes, you can say that Sonic Heroes had this for their special stages, but in terms of main stages, we didn't have stuff like this. Okay, there was something in Sonic Rush that had that, so I guess you could say that Sonic Rush did have that, but it wasn't that much of a relevant feature in that game. Unlike in Sonic Unleashed, it's a very relevant thing to not only this specific game, but also like games like Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors. the boost meter is charged up by rings. And because of an insane amount of rings in these stages, which is the game being a bit generous, I will admit, but at the same time, you'll be boosting everywhere. How much you will ever like. Be careful when you're doing these though, because you'll eventually slip up, and unless you had insane reflexes. Sonic Unleashed has some of the best stages in the entire franchise, and it introduces this one of, if not the best gameplay style in the franchise. Well, at least for 3D games. And I still kind of prefer Sonic Generations and Mania, but although it could be a personal bias. But I won't lie, the Sonic stages in this game are also pretty good too. I will admit though that the midair boost edition does kind of make the homing attack work pretty poorly in this game. The homing attack itself works perfectly fine, but there's this thing in the game called a midair boost, and that's when you press A at first and then press Y. It's a homing attack, but with boost. But that's the problem. The homing attack is used by the X button too, with the A button too. So yeah, that's the only complaint I have about Sonic stages. But despite that, I still love the Sonic stages for what they are. That being incredible. My favorite stages being Cool Edge, Dragon Road, and Rooftop Run. Now I will say this. I have not completed Sonic Unleashed at the moment, but I've played through a decent amount of it, and from a viewing perspective, I can easily see these levels being the best in the franchise. Cool Edge I do have the only experience with, I won't lie. Yeah. But the other levels, I can tell are awesome because they're pretty fair in terms of difficulty, though challenging in certain moments. But let's move on to the next gameplay style. Werehog Sonic stages are definitely not as standout as the regular Sonic stages, but that doesn't mean that they're not fun. They very much are. In fact, despite the long as hell levels, I never really understood why this gameplay style is hated so much. Yes, I'll agree with people that say that the Werehog stages are way too long. But outside of that, everything else about the stages are really well done, and they take platforming up to the next level, and the combat in the Werehog stages are also pretty fun, and the leveling system is pretty good too. Overall, I had fun with the Werehog. Well, for the most part. My favorite levels would have to be Jungle Joyride, Dragon Road, and Cool Edge. All in all, I overall really like the Werehog. Despite how long his levels can be at times, I never really had a problem. However, because of the very long times that you will be having to complete these stages, that is why the Sonic stages are a lot better. However, I will say that the control that both stages, especially the Werehog, control pretty smoothly. And I will admit, if there's one thing that the Werehog does better than regular Sonic, it's the controls. The controls are pretty accurate, and I overall don't get frustrated when I die. When I die as the Werehog, I feel like as a me mistake. Now, I will admit that is sometimes with the cases with regular Sonic, but there will be times where it wasn't my fault. There's not too much of that in the Werehog stages. all in all, the only level that I genuinely don't like is Eggman Land. And now, unpopular opinion, but I will admit that I do kind of prefer this land over Sonic Adventure 2's final level. Though it could be due to the fact that there are sequences that are pretty unfair at times. And is the only reason why I haven't completed Sonic Adventure 2. But this level is still really annoying, and it is pretty much pain. The regular Sonic stages aren't that much pain, but the Werehog Sonic stages are pain. But even then, I still prefer this over Cannon's Core from Sonic Adventure 2 by a long shot. So I won't get too mad at this level. And I haven't gotten this far into the game yet, but I would rather have an insane long level with only 2 gameplay styles instead of one level with a hell ton of 3 gameplay styles. Which Cannon's Core wasn't as long, but it was definitely more annoying in certain aspects. But besides from that, though, I had a lot of fun. And I overall didn't have too much of a problem with the Sun and Moon medals. I just collect them in the stages that I love. And because of the fact that you don't have to collect any of Sun and Moon levels in the final level, and only from the decent to really good levels, I can excuse the Sun and Moon medals. There are points where it does kind of annoy me, but there wasn't too many points where it did. And then we have the Tornado Defense stages. These levels are okay at the very least, but I honestly don't like these levels compared to Sonic and Werehogs, though that is pretty expected. But if there is one major positive I can give about this level, it makes Tails stand out. And not only the story, but the gameplay. Sonic Generations gave Tails a purpose in gameplay, though it was only in the challenges. But he wasn't given a purpose in the actual story, other than motivation for the Time Eater fight. And Sonic Colors is pretty much the same thing, except Tails isn't shown that much in terms of gameplay. Not that I know of, because I haven't touched Sonic Colors yet, although I'm planning to in the very far future. Overall, the gameplay is pretty top-notch, and I honestly get a kick out of playing through most of the stages. And now that I talked about the gameplay portions, well, for the most part, I like to talk about the boss fights. Honestly, the boss fights are honestly good. Literally good. My favorite boss fight is being the Edge Dragoon, and I'm hoping a lot of people expected that. But I'm actually gonna be a tidbit honest. I never really understood the hatred towards the final boss. Yes, I know the Gaia Colossus is slow, but there's also the charge up punch where it can help you time your punches very smoothly. I will admit it does take a little bit of time to complete this boss, and if you do die, you have to do the Edge Dragoon fight all over again. But since the Edge Dragoon fight was a pretty good fight, was a pretty awesome fight, I'll excuse it for that. Could they have done this boss better? Absolutely. The Sonic portions of this fight is a little bit unforgiving because of how hard the time limits are, but I still consider them fun parts of a fight. I'm serious. They really are. And then we have the perfect Dark Gaia part. Honestly, I prefer this over the first part because not only is it a supersonic boss fight, but it also gives a chance to do the. It also gives a chance for Chip to shine, and it gives Supersonic some time into itself.